Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Mischke and these are my moments. In today's video, I'm going to share with you what I did with my mid-year check-in, what was the process that I went through, and then also how I divide up my goals and so on, as well as a quick reading wrap-up of I think it was June and July, and what I'm planning to read in August. Firstly, what I did in my mid-year check-in. I'm very much a list person, so Notion is like the perfect website for me to just have everything in one place. This is not a sponsor, by the way. I just really like the website. So the first thing that I did was journaling. I really like journaling. It just helps me gather my thoughts. So the first few questions that I went through was reflecting on the first 6 months. And then the second part was, what am I planning for the next 6 months? I will have them in the description if you would like to also go through them. I must say, I really enjoyed these questions. I got them on Pinterest, and there are hundreds and hundreds, I think thousands of prompts that you can follow with journaling or the reflection of your mid-year check-in. So it's just going through them and finding the one that's right for you. Questions that I answered was like, what are the things that you are most proud of? What has been your biggest lesson? What are the 3 things that you would like to change? What have you been the most thankful for? And what is 3 things that you would want to keep on doing? Then the next questions that I answered was like planning for the next 6 months. And that was questions like, what are the 3 things? If I look at all my goals, what are the 3 things that I would like to achieve in the next 6 months? And then a little bit of an emotional, mental check-in is, how would you feel if you achieve that? So then also like focusing on, where is it that you want your most focus to be on? And then actually laying out for yourself, how would you like to achieve those goals? The next thing that I did, and this is something that I actually really liked, cannot remember, I read this somewhere, and if you know where, please comment down below who said it, but it is having your goal and then taking that step back and saying, okay, how or what will the steps be for me to be able to achieve that goal? But taking that in mind and then looking at, who is the person that I would like to be at the end of the year? If I look back, I'm like, that is the person that I am today because of this and this and this. So I made a little list for myself, is if I look back, if I say, okay, today I'm kind, I'm loving, I'm caring, I'm a hard worker, I have perseverance, things like that. Also, like, what is my daily goals? What's my weekly goals? What is something that I hope to put into my daily routine? Maybe like, yes, I get up early and I have my Bible study, little things like that. Or weekly, I see my friends, I do something fun, I learn something new every month. Bring stuff like that into my, what is my picture at the end of the year, and who is Mischke? Who am I going to be? What type of person am I going to be? So then I started with the actual goal checklist thing. And that was firstly to review my goals. So, what were those goals and have I actually achieved them? And if I could tell you that I was actually so surprised about the amount of goals that I've already reached, that I thought I was going to only reach by the end of the year, I already reached them. So I was so happy. I mean, that just helps make you be more positive for this check-in and as well for the next 6 months. So with my goal setting, I have personal things, like my spiritual growth, my balanced lifestyle, so being more active, having a good eating lifestyle, just my overall health. I would like to put myself out there more. One of my things where I want to say more yes to life, even in saving, and even though it is so important, I would really like to enjoy life still as well. So saying yes to adventure. So that's more personal. Then I have work related goals as well for my own business as well as my 8 to 5 job. So it was checking in there. What have I achieved? Some things that I got more consistent with, which is great. So I want to keep on doing that. And then also financially. I am at that age, and I think the earlier you start to realize how important planning for the future is, the better. Like saving for your old age, for retirement, that is so important. Maybe having investments. Shorter term goals is something for myself. Was last year I said I need to get my like adult handbag. It's time for my big girl handbag, and that was having a good quality leather classic handbag. So I was saving up for that. So that was like a short term goal. So after going through all of those goals and realizing, oh, okay, I've actually achieved some of them, and some of them I went even further than I planned or that my goal was. So that was so cool. So I could actually extend or make that goal even bigger for the end of the year, for the next 6 months. It doesn't mean now I achieved it. Now, great, that thing is ticked off, is done. Some of them, it is a continuous thing. It's like, okay, great. So what you are doing is working. So continue with that. So that is for the next 6 months, that will be that plan. Then there were a few other, I feel like I want to say physical, almost like cleaning, sorting out things. So, sorting out your workspace again. I mean, you get so into your workspace, like you start the beginning of the year, everything is organized and beautiful, and then by mid year, it's chaos. So, it was good just to sort out some things again, not just in my workspace, but in the home as well. So, with that, finally, with everything, I want to say in front of me, so I know what I've achieved, I know what I want to achieve. Now it was actually going and putting it physically in my planning for the next 6 months. So, putting it into my calendar, planning vacations, planning certain conversations that I wanted to have with financial advisors, saying, okay, I would like to better myself in the business. So, what is that looking like for the next 6 months? And then putting stuff into my calendar that will help me with those goals. So it is not just the planning, but it's also putting stuff in action. So organizing meetings or get-togethers with people for those goals. I must say, I really, really enjoyed doing it this way. It is just giving me so much more clarity what the rest of the year is, and also excitement. I really do feel like there are so many people currently, well, here in South Africa, that's very ill. So the flu is running around. I know it's seasonal change also, but stress. People are stressing so much. Nobody is sleeping, and people are burning out. And in this way, it just gave me like that that sigh of relief, because I got to a stage where I felt like I didn't achieve anything thus far this year. It's like, what did you do? What did you do all this time? And doing this check-in just helped me to realize, okay, you've actually done something and achieved some stuff, and also took it further than what your goal was. So that makes me very excited for the next 6 months. Let me know if you have done a mid-year check-in and how did you feel about it. Before we continue, remember to hit that like and subscribe. Now for my June and July book wrap-up. The first one that I read was Me Before You, and it took me such a long time to actually read it or get to reading it because I love the movie so much and I didn't want to be laid down. But I'm happy to say and to report that I absolutely loved it. I do almost want to say that I do like the book a little bit more in terms of that you get more character development. There's a little bit more of a story than just highlights. Yes, still stuff happens in the end, but Lo is definitely dreaming, you know. I think dreaming, really dreaming for the first time. And Will is losing that hard exterior and stop pushing people away. So he's starting to laugh again and share stories again. So that is good, even though he ends up doing what he planned to do. But I think it's a much better, beautiful, more beautiful day than it would have been if it weren't for Low. Then I read a arc Last Scene in Havana. Now it was a little bit a long book for me, but what I did enjoy was the accuracy and the detail to the historic facts that it was based on. So, historical fiction and the way that it moved from her mother's POV to her own POV, how she's actually finding out what happened to her mother. In that sense, I really enjoyed it, but it was a little bit dragged out for me. It was like, okay, come on, let's go. Let's go. Then I just gave myself a little bit of a breather, but then I read Off to You. And I will honestly say I almost DNF'd this book. I think it was like chapter 5 or something, and I was like, I can't. I was so sad. I actually took such a long time to get just halfway to the book, and that was just because Lo was so incredibly sad, and I get why, obviously, but it was a tough one to get into. I don't want to give too many spoilers away, but the girl in the book, she had me so angry, like so much of the book. But I knew reading it that obviously something happened. This girl obviously also has a story, or she's just really a brat. But I think there's something behind all that harshness. This book was basically Lo's story of going into her grief and also getting out of it in a way. It did have me a little bit frustrated, some of the choices she made, but again, I understood why when you get more towards the end. But it does leave me very excited to read the next book. Okay. 'n Pot vol winter is 'n Afrikaanse boek van Marita Martens en ons het hierdie boek gelees op skool. Ek dink dit was graad 10 of graad 11. Ek het absoluut geen idee hoekom nie. Daar was in 'n manier 'n les gewees, ja, maar ek was ook soos daai ouderdom se kinders, moenie jou worries wees nie. Maar ek besef ook daar is en was baie dogters en ouens, tieners wat deur van hierdie goeters gaan. So I get why, but ek was soos, hoekom het ons hierdie boek gelees? Then I read and finished Battle Ready, Train Your Mind to Conquer Challenges, Defeat Doubt and Live Victorious by Kelly Ballery. And I will say I totally underestimated this book. It was really, really good, and I will really recommend it to everyone. The way she goes into certain things, certain topics is really good. Something that you can definitely apply in your own life. The examples that she gives is really good. I underestimated it and end up loving it. The next book is Lessons in Chemistry. Now, this is one of those books that I was very hesitant to read because there's such a big hype around it. But with the movie coming out, I can't remember if it's later this year or next year, but with it coming out, I wanted to read it before I saw the movie. And let's just say I thought it was really good. It had me upset, it had me happy, it had me laughing at dry humor, and it also reminded me how thankful we should be currently, where we are in the world with regards to what we as women have. Like, we do have opportunities. So many women so many years ago didn't have those opportunities, and they fought for us to have that opportunity. So it made me take a step back and ask myself the question, what are you doing with that? Like, what did they fight for if you're not going to do anything with it? I won't say like going fully into the road of feminism, but just take a moment and be so thankful for how far we have come. Yes, the only thing that obviously was, I was like, was the fact that she is an atheist, but I do understand again with her background as well as being a chemist. Um, but then you get books like Cold Case for God and stuff like that, or Cold Case for Christianity. Then I'm like, can she please read that? And then I remember it's not a real person, but I wish it was. I must say, even though I didn't get to all my books that I planned to, even in June and July, I really enjoyed what I read. It was good. I'm happy. And this is what I'm planning to read for August. So the first obvious one is Still Me from Jojo Moyes. It is the third and final book in the Me Before You series. I think there's a one afterwards, but it's not really seen as completely part of the series. But yes, I'm very excited to see where she is going. Low Clock knows too many things. I just realized this. Wait. Okay, so the first one, Me Before You, starts with Low Clark knows lots of things. Then After You says Low Clark has lots of questions. And then it ends with Low Clark knows too many things. How fun is that? She knows how many miles lie between her new home in New York and her new boyfriend Sam in London. We like Sam. She knows the employer is a good man and she knows his wife is keeping a secret from him. What Lo doesn't know is she's about to meet someone who's going to turn her whole life upside down every time. Every time, always surprised? No, because Josh will remind her so much of a man she used to know that it'll hurt. Lo won't know what to do next, but she knows that whatever she chooses is going to change everything. I feel like that's a life story. Then I have many arcs on my Kindle that I really want to get to in this month. I already started The Secret That Killed You and I've been really enjoying it. I'm almost done, so I've been flying through that one, so I can kind of yes, go read it. There are many cozy mysteries that is waiting for me in the month of August. I still haven't gotten to my Jane Austen, but after a few arcs I would like, and Still Me, I would like to get to Mansfield Park by Jane Austen. Every month I like to read something that is like spiritually life growth type of book, and this month it is In the Middle of the Mess, Strength for This Beautiful Broken Life by Sheila Welsh. I absolutely love Sheila Welsh, but I haven't yet read any of her books, and this will be the first. I do have a few of her books, but this will be the first actual one that I read from her. And then last but definitely not the least, I joined a business or girls in business book group and book group, and I'm just so excited for what we are planning for the year. It is my friend and I, she started it, and then we invited some of our friends that we know are in business or has their own businesses or whatever, and we just feel we want to grow into in business and yes, learn more. So the first book that we are going through together is How to Win Friends and Influence People. I already started reading the book and I enjoyed it so much, so we spoke about it. And that is why we decided to make this our first book. And yes, so far it is so good. I'm really enjoying it and excited to see what we read next. And that's it from me, my media check-in and a little book wrap and TBR. I hope you enjoy this. Please leave a comment down below. Have you done a media check-in? How did you feel about it? Have you read any of these books that I mentioned, and what were your thoughts? Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!